Hey guys, this is Roberto Rojas, and today I'll be observing myself as a critical reader and analyzing everything that I've experienced throughout the semester. My understanding of the reader response theory. During the semester, the reader response theory has always been a fundamental tool of how I analyze many stories, reading such various short stories, one of them including Winter Dreams. When I was reading the story, it gave me the idea of trying to dig deeper into what cultural references are being made. With a lot of references being made to the 1920s, 1910s, 1920s ideas and lifestyle, something that was very, very similar to what F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote on The Great Gatsby. So it was very, very interesting to see what questions I could have had with the story as well as to the author. Such as an example would be asking the author if he had any of these type of stories related to his young adult life or even beforehand. And looking at the reader response of the story, one of the first thoughts that occurred to me that this is a story about a golf caddy that quits his job because of a girl that he saw and was immediately attracted to. And with the second reading, it gave me a better understanding of what the message was trying to be portrayed. A few things that I observed about my critical reading, in an example that I like to use is Araby. Is the irony of how the students from the Christian Brothers School are set free, treating to the kids as prisoners and perhaps being forced into priesthood in Ireland, which is a really religious country in Europe. I began to write down certain sentences and phrases that really stood out to me, using as well as a lot of fundamental ideas such as imagery, with an example of a cloudy house filled with air, musty from having been long enclosed, hung in all the rooms, and the waste room behind the kitchen that was littered with old useless papers. The digital tools that I've used was Blogger. When I was reading The Catcher in the Rye during 6 weeks, I was able to write 6 blog posts and was able to talk about various things about the book, such as the setting, the significance of the title, various rhetorical devices, and characterization, among other things. The way that the blog impacted me, it gave me the liberty to express myself in a free write and trying to deeply think and talk about the book using my own opinions. The connections and challenges that I made a lot was looking at the elemental aspects of how a specific topic must be addressed and how terms must be clearly defined. And it varied from story to story. There were similar ideas as well, using the main idea to basically understand as what we read and try to express ourselves and talk about the book in a more clearer way. One of the challenges that I definitely encountered was reading A Worn Path and trying to figure out the different types of characterization for the personality of the hunter. And finally, the most memorable experience that I had was reading the story Two Kinds, which really related to me a lot, given that the expectations that my parents had, both of which were immigrants, and came to the United States trying to teach their kids to be successful and to help them in the future. So it was very interesting to see the sacrifice that they made and how much Amy Tan's childhood relates so much to mine. And an aha moment that I underwent during my time was the ability to actually really think about the significant meaning of the story, to better understand everything that is going on, to discuss it with my fellow peers, and to write about it via a blog or a free write online or in class or even homework, which I really thought was very, very interesting. And that is my project.